Year 2025 the game Shankai was announced. This was no ordinary game. Its power was not limited to the virtual world abilities, skills, even divine equipment could be brought into the real world. This one event changed the entire world. Chaos spread, devastating disasters occurred. The story starts. The storm rages, lightning carving through the darkness, revealing the ruins of a once mighty fortress. Walls lie in rubble, pillars shattered, and the ground is soaked in blood. The battlefield is silent, save for the relentless rain and the whispers of the fallen. Lifeless bodies and broken weapons litter the earth, a grim testament to a battle lost. The scent of death lingers, unwashed by the storm. The storm howls. The battle is over. Only the dead remain to witness the end. A lone girl stands amidst the storm, her black robes billowing, silver designs gleaming under the lightning. Regal yet ominous, noble in form, but steeped in something far darker. In her grasp, a dagger pulses with swirling violet energy, distorting the air around it. A cursed blade? A conduit of dark magic. Whatever it is, its intent is clear death. She gazes forward. They finally speak. Qin Feng, you really are something. The storm rages on, rain cascading over a battlefield drenched in blood. The shattered remnants of warriors and monsters lie strewn across the ruins, their final cries long lost to the howling wind. A lone warrior stands atop a grotesque, multi-eyed beast. His once pristine armor is battered, stained with the remnants of the battle fought. The warrior exhales, his grip tightening around his sword. He gazes ahead, eyes filled with cold determination. A voice echoes through the ruins, laced with disbelief. Even under a 100-fold accelerated aging effect, you still manage to clear the ancient god's ruins. But this divine artifact, the Eye of Judgment, I'll be taking it now. Blue energy crackles in the air, swirling around him as he reaches forward. Blood drips from our protagonist's mouth. His body is badly wounded, with deep cuts across his body. A barbed sword is embedded in his stomach, its cruel edge deepening with every slight movement. He tries to steady himself, but his legs shake, barely able to support his weight. His vision blurs, yet he forces himself to look forward. Pain surges within him, but nothing hurts more than the betrayal burning in his chest. You betrayed me. I am your brother, Qin Xiaoyu. His voice is weak, but his words are bitter. His fingers twitch as if searching for something: hope, revenge, or perhaps just an answer. She stands there. Her hands are stained with her brother's blood. She has the Eye of Justice in her hand. His body trembles, his eyes gleamed with hatred, but not just from the wound, but from the weight of betrayal. Brother. Ha, Qin Feng, you were nothing more than a stray my parents took in. You don't even share my blood, and yet you dared to call yourself my brother. She turns to face a young man with golden hair, his elegant black and gold attire untouched by the chaos around them. Her eyes gleam with cruelty as she calls out, Brother Song Fei. A smirk plays on her lips as she gestures towards the fallen figure before them. The boy standing beside her chuckles, his voice dripping with mockery. This so-called brother of mine sure came in handy. The girl's smirk deepens. The cold rain does nothing to wash away the blood on her hands. Song Fei stands in front of him, smiling, his eyes shining with cruel satisfaction. In his hand is the Eye of Justice, glowing with stolen power, the reward for his betrayal. Next to him, Xiaoyu clings to his arm, her delicate fingers stained with Qin Feng's blood, her smile cruel. The Song Fei says, his voice full of arrogance, Qin Feng, I really should be thanking you. Without you, Song Fei and I would never have found this divine artifact. In order to end your lifespan once and for all, I traveled a long way to get the soul-stealing blade that is now embedded in your body. So, did you like my parting gift? Song Fei lifts the spheres slightly, admiring their luster. Ending your lifespan once and for all, and now his smile widens. The two people who have been fighting for the eyes for so long are actually our protagonists. He has lost his eyes. His eyes are bleeding, and he grits his teeth and says angrily, Kinzaioyu. I raised you after our parents passed, supported you through school. After the game descended upon our world, I risked my life countless times for you. I really misjudged you, my dear sister. Kinzaioyu clung to Song Fail and looked at our protagonist until after our parents died. You kept interfering in my life, bossing me around, controlling me. Before, when Song Fei and I needed your protection, you were still somewhat useful. But now that we have the divine artifact, your only value is gone. Above him, Song Fail descends like a reaper, his crimson cape billowing, twin swords gleaming with cold intent. His smirk is cruel, his eyes brimming with victorious arrogance. Song Fail tell Qin Feng, just die in peace already. His voice is laced with mockery, his blade reflecting the lightning that streaks across the darkened sky. Song Fail smirking, don't worry, I'll take good care of Zioyu for you. Song Fail swings down, his swords aiming to end it all. But Qin Feng doesn't fall so easily. With a defiant roar, he forces his battered body to move, the weight of betrayal fueling his final act. The sky turns red, casting an ominous glow over the battlefield. Song Fail cuts off Qin Feng's head, and he dies and goes into deep thought as he dies. In 2025, the God-forsaken game descended. As long as a person falls asleep, they will be forcibly pulled into the game world. The only currency in the game is lifespan. Dying causes a loss of lifespan, while killing monsters grants lifespan. Players can spend lifespans to bring their in-game abilities into the real world. The strong can tear apart tanks with their bare hands, slice through planes with a sword, and even withstand nuclear blasts with their own bodies. From that moment, the world changed drastically, and chaos spread. I struggled to survive with my sister, enduring countless hardships, barely making it into the top 100 global powerhouses. After overcoming endless dangers and barely escaping death countless times, I finally conquered the ancient god's ruins. I obtained the divine artifact, Eye of Judgment. At last, I had the qualifications to reach the peak. But who would have thought? The price of my success was the betrayal of my only family. So all my efforts in life amounted to nothing but interference. So all my struggles only paved the way for someone else's success. I refuse to accept this. If I could live again, I would only fight for myself. Suddenly his eyes have to open. Suddenly he sits on his bed and wonders whether he is really in this world or is dead. Then he cannot understand anything. He sits on the bed and looks at his mobile and thinks, I thought I was dead. It's the year 2025. That means I've been reborn. It was 9 years ago, the day the God-forsaken game descended. The scene changes and we see Qin Zio breaking down the door and rushing inside in anger. Qin Zio angrily shouts, Qin Feng, you really are home. Why didn't you answer my call? Qin Feng did not reply. He stood very quietly with a cup of tea and was looking at his sister. Zio Yu angrily starts breaking all the objects with his feet and says, What? I just went to support brother Song Fei. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? You don't even understand how important it was for me to go support him this time. Those groupies and fangirls have already started to infringe upon my brother Er's interests. I must go support him. What? I just went to support brother Song Fei. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? You don't even understand how important it was for me to go support him this time. Those groupies and fangirls have already started to infringe upon my brother Er's interests. I must go support him. And those damn stalkers and sassying fans are disgusting. They cling to my brother like a sticky plaster. Now that my brother's in crisis and you're here constantly obstructing me, cutting off my money, and not letting me rank up, it's all your fault if I end up like a small shrimp. Qin Feng looked at his sister very calmly and with very sharp eyes and thought to himself as expected. On the day the Forsaken game descended, Qin Xiaoyu had a big fight with me because of Song Fei. Before the game descended, Song Fei was a somewhat famous underground idol, and Qin Xiaoyu was his obsessed fan. Song Fei seems glamorous on the surface, but in reality, he's a complete scumbag who has tricked many of his female fans out of money and their bodies. To prevent Qin Xiaoyu from being scammed, I've always forbidden her from hanging around that guy, but in the end, I was accused of controlling her life. Xiaoyu angrily points his finger at our MC and tell, "Hey, are you deaf? I'm talking to you. Why are you acting like you can't hear me? It's all because of you that my brother dropped off the top rank this month. If you don't give me money to rank up, I'll..." Immediately, Qin Feng slapped Xiaoyu hard. Xiaoyu falls over the mess he made. Xiaoyu's cheek turns red from the slap, and blood starts to trickle from his nose and mouth. He begins to cry and, sobbing, says, "You actually hit me." Qin Feng's golden eyes were burning with anger. His breathing was slow, controlled, holding back the storm within. His jaw tightened, lips curled, not in a smile, but in a deadly, unwavering resolve. And he spoke, "Qin Xiaoyu, I don't have the time or mood to argue with you today. But if you keep barking at me, I'll smash that mouth of yours. This is the money left by our parents. No matter how hard I've been these years, I never touched a single cent." Xiaoyu was still lying down, her hand on her cheek, and she was also crying. Qin Feng threw his credit card at her head. Qin Feng immediately opens his bedroom door and walks inside, still holding the water mug in his hand, and he turns to his sister and tells very seriously, "For the sake of my parents, I won't stoop to your level. But listen, from now on I never want a sister like you." Xiaoyu is lying down and she is still holding her cheek in her hand and crying a lot. Her eyes are watering and she is slowly getting angry too. Qin Feng comes inside his room and the room was very dark. One hand is inside the pants pocket and the other hand is holding coffee, and he is thinking very seriously in his mind. "In my past life, to protect Qin Xiaoyu, I missed too many opportunities. Too many secret treasures and dungeons that needed risk-taking exploration, I gave up on. I am also curious to see how far I can go without this burden." He thinks with a sleeping pills in his hand. He immediately takes sleeping pills and thinks while eating, this time, "I will use my understanding of the game from my past life to stay ahead of everyone. Qin Xiaoyu, you will be on your own now." Qin Feng was sitting on his bed and was very angry, and purple-colored energy was coming out of his body, and he thinks in a very angry tone, "Song Fei, I will personally take your head." Qin Feng goes inside a gate around which a lot of blue-colored energy is emanating, and it is also emanating from Qin Feng's body. It looks like he is walking on water. As he comes in through the gate, there were more gates, and as he looks at them, he says, "The Career Choice Hall. I really miss it. I remember when I first came here, I was so nervous that it took me several hours to choose my career and leave. This time, I need to be even quicker." Qin Feng goes to one of the gates. Inside the gate is a warrior standing with a sword and shield in his hand. His whole body is covered with iron or metal armor, and he is very tall. A lot of energy was emanating around him, and seeing him, our MEC says, "In my past life, I chose the warrior to protect Qin Xiaoyu. The warrior wasn't weak, but it's not the right fit for me anymore. Without Qin Xiaoyu's burden, I'll be able to clear solo much faster." Qin Feng goes towards the other gate, and there is a big character who is standing in a scene, and his clothes are black, and a lot of powerful energy is coming out, and Qin Feng extends his hand towards him. Blue-colored energy starts gathering in his hand, and he says, "Mobility and reaction time are the most important. It's decided. This life I will choose assassin." Immediately Qin Feng gets a notification. Divine equipment has been successfully bound. He doesn't understand what happened. Suddenly, a big golden-colored eyeball appears above his head, which was emitting a lot of golden-colored energy, and he gets 2 notifications. Eye of Judgment is activated. Unique attribute, Authority of Judgment. Authority passive. When entering the Forsaken game, you will automatically gain the highest ranked profession and talent. Our Qin Feng is very happy to see that notification and says very happily that the Eye of Judgment has bound itself to me after my rebirth. So that's how it is. As long as the artifact recognizes its owner, even if it is stolen, it's useless. Maybe I was reborn because of it. After that, suddenly a lot of dark energy started coming out from inside him. He is very confused. The dark energy is getting absorbed in him and is getting expelled from him. He was completely covered in a dark energy, and he gets a notification, "Congratulations, you have getting a hidden profession." After a while, one of his hands comes out from that shadow energy. We are then shown Qin Feng, who looks very dangerous. His hair color changes from black to white. His clothes change to assassin type. He is wearing black clothes, black pants, and black energy is flowing all around him, along with getting a notification that you have become a shadow. A lot of dark energy was visible around Qin Feng, and he was raising his hand upwards, and he tells, "Shadow." So this is the highest tier hidden profession for assassins. Completely different from the warrior I chose in my previous life. Just gaining this profession gives me such power. Qin Feng takes his hand near his eyes to check them and says every profession has a very small chance of unlocking its hidden higher tier profession. And the Authority of Judgment actually makes this probability a certainty. What exactly is it? Qin Feng is inside a golden color circle which was emitting golden color energy. I think it is Eye of Judgment. There is a lot of darkness around you, and he gets a notification, Authority of Judgment, the most genuine and ancient primal authority in the universe. Its power surpasses rules and order. You temporarily cannot actively activate this authority as you does not possess divinity, but its passive effect is active. The scene shifts. Our Qin Feng was sitting on the shoulder of a stone statue, and the moon was very big in the sky. Ruins were also visible around it, and he thinks in my previous life. It wasn't until the 7th year after the God-forsaken game descended that a strong player managed to leave the God's abandoned realm and reach the realm of order. Only then did humanity learn about the existence of order's power. But in fact, even years later, no one ever obtained the power of order. I never expected. Now, at the start of my journey, I've already gained the primal authority that surpasses order and rules. As long as I can leave the God's abandoned realm and reach the realm of order to obtain divinity, I can activate this authority. Looks like I have another goal this life. Suddenly, dark energy slowly surrounds Qin Feng, and he starts getting inside, and it is told by the system your alias is Shadow. Entering the God's abandoned realm. This is a ruined land, filled with countless monsters. Be careful, they are always ready to tear you apart and steal your lifespan. Leave the town, kill monsters, and you will earn tradable lifespan. But if you die in the game, you will lose half your lifespan. Then he gets teleported to a city and goes there and is told by the system this area, Shell Town, is a safe zone. There are no monsters here, and players cannot attack each other. Lifespan loss speed, 1x. Then 2 people start talking to each other. Person 1 says, "Hey, where is this place? What profession, alias?" Person 2 says, "I just got off my night shift and lay down. Am I hallucinating?" Person 1 says, "I don't know. I just ate all night and finally fell asleep. Then how did I end up here?" Person 2 says, "It hurts. This isn't a dream. It seems we've been pulled into some kind of game." After listening to both of them and looking at them carefully, Qin Feng says, "Have so many people been pulled into the game already?" Soon, powerful figures from various countries will appear one after another, reshaping the order of this world. If we want to be ahead of them, we can't wait. Practice doesn't wait for anyone. Everyone present is very shocked and surprised to see Qin Feng, and they whisper amongst themselves, "What profession is this? Why does he look so different from ours? I'm an assassin too, but how come I'm not that cool? See, he has skills too. Then we saw 3 boys and a girl lying down in front of our mech, and those people were very tired and some were injured as well. It seemed as if they were fighting from somewhere, and as is the teleport to on we reached there, they started shouting, ouch. And now those people say that it hurts. Huh? So if we die we return to the town. There are 3 boys who are saying in a very depressing way, and they are very tired. One of the boys stood up with the help of a stick. Those wild monsters are way too strong. 1 bite and we're half dead. How can we fight it? Isn't that just a weak level 1 crawler? Why did we only manage to take 1/3 of its health together? My lifespan. I lost half of it. Those 3 boys tell the girl who was lying there, Sister Lizzie, what should we do now? Lizzie sat quietly, with her hands on the head seat, and said nothing. Qin Feng sees Lizzie on the monument and thinks archers start with short bows. Looks like she's a hidden class too. Lizzie walks up to Qin Feng with a bow in her hand and talks to Armek while making very cute expressions. Big brother, you seem to be a hidden class too. Wanna team up with us? The monsters outside are really strong. We can't handle them alone. Our team has been wiped out once. We have experience. Qin Feng looks at the girl for a while and thinks, is it the experience from being killed? And he replies, no need. Our Qin Feng walks past them, and they start talking to Armek from behind. Not talking, pretending to be a pro. All 5 of us couldn't beat them, and you think you can do it alone? This is ridiculous. We've all said how dangerous it is outside, yet you're going alone, looking for death. Don't do this. They are great stealth class and a killer type. If you can't beat them, you might as well just run away. After that, the girl checks her system, and our MC's name was Shadow. And he says, yuck, really acting high. Despite this, our Qin Feng starts moving forward, and the girl standing behind him tells her friends, let's go, follow him and see what skills he has. Maybe we can get some new information about the monster. Then Lizzie makes an evil face and says, and maybe we see he die. The video ends here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more amazing videos. Rate this video from 1 to 10 in the comment section and let us know your thoughts. Your feedback means a lot to us.